Hi guys, welcome to my channel Radhika's lesson. Let's begin with chapter 2 of algebra, that is real numbers. Let's remember, in previous chapter we have studied about natural numbers, whole numbers, integers, rational number and real numbers. Now natural number is subset of whole number is subset of integers, integers are subset of rational and irrational number, and irrational numbers are subset of real numbers. Order relation on rational numbers, let's understand how it is. P upon Q and R upon S are rational numbers where Q is greater than 0 and S is also greater than 0. First point we need to understand is if P multiplied by S, that is when we cross multiply, P multiplied by S is equal to Q multiplied by R, then P upon Q will be equal to R upon S. Now just see this example. If supposing P is 3 and Q is 4 and R is 15 and S is 20, and if I cross multiply P and S and Q and R, that is 3 and 20 and 4 and 15, I get 60 is equal to 60. This proves that P upon Q is equal to R upon S. Second important point we need to remember is if P multiplied by S is greater than Q multiplied by R, then P upon Q is greater than R upon S. Third rule, if P into S is smaller than Q into R, then P upon Q is smaller than R upon S. Let's now see the properties. Properties of rational numbers. If A, B, C are rational numbers, then property here it is 4 properties are given: addition and multiplication. Now commutative property, A plus B is equal to B plus A. This means even though if we interchange the places, left hand side will be equal to right hand side. In case of multiplication, commutative property, A multiplied by B is equal to B multiplied by A. You interchange the places, the result is the same. Second one, associative property, A plus B into bracket plus C and A plus into bracket B plus C. Now here either you add the first two terms then add the third one to it, or if you add last two terms and add the first one to it, left hand side will be equal to right hand side. And multiplication, again the same, multiply the last two terms and the result with the first term, or multiply first two terms and the result with the third term, then also it will be left hand side is equal to right hand side. Identity, A plus 0 is equal to 0 plus A. You interchange the places, the result is always A. When 0 added to any number, the result is the same number. A multiplied by 1 is equal to 1 multiplied by A is always A in case of multiplication. Now inverse, A plus negative A is equal to 0, or A minus A is equal to 0. Here when we multiply A multiplied by reciprocal of A, which gives us 1, where A should not be equal to 0. Now these are the properties of rational number. Next we come to decimal form of any rational number can be either terminating or non-terminating recurring type. I will get two types rational numbers, like terminating or non-terminating recurring type. Now example, terminating will be 2 upon 5 is equal to 0.4. The division ends with the remainder 0. Non-terminating, if you take this example, 17 upon 36, which gives us 0.4722, where 2 keeps recurring and there is no end to the division. So the number which recurs, if it is a single number, then we put a dot on it. To express the recurring decimal in P upon Q form, the number of recurring digit after decimal point in the given rational number to be accordingly multiplied by 10, 100 or 1000. Let's see this ahead. Let's see the example. We can multiply 2.3, that is there is a dot on by 10 Then if it is 1.24, there is a bar on 2 and 4, where 2 and 4 both are recurring, so we can multiply by 100. In 1.513, where there is bar from 5 to 3, here digit 5, 1 and 3 recur. So multiply 1.513 by 1000. When we start with the exercise, we will understand properly. Now fourth rule, if the prime factor of the denominator of a given rational number are 2 or 5, then its decimal expansion is terminating. Anytime you find 2 in the prime factors of the denominators come in 2 or in 5, then the decimal expansion is terminating, that is the division comes to an end. Now for example, supposing if it is a rational number p upon 25, I can write the factors of 5, prime factors of 25 as 5 into 5. Therefore, the expansion is terminating, that there is end to the division. Now, next example, if I take p upon 12, then its prime factors will be 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. So, therefore, expansion is terminating, that is there is an end to the division. Fifth one, if the prime factors are other than 2 or 5, if the denominator does not have factors of 2 or 5, also then its decimal expansion is non-terminating and recurring type. So if you are not getting such type of numbers where they have prime factors only 2 or 5, then the decimal expansion will be non-terminating and recurring type. Let's begin with the practice set 2.1. Let's get started. Practice set 2.1, page 21 of your textbook. Question number 1. Classify the decimal form of the given rational number into terminating and non-terminating recurring type. Now you have to just classify and understand. 13 upon 5. There's 5 in the denominator. 13 upon 5, 5 denominator. And then property states only 5 as a prime factor. Therefore, 13 upon 5 has terminating decimal form. That means when we divide 13 by 5, we get remainder 0. Now 2 upon 11. In 2 upon 11, 11 is the denominator and has prime factors other than 2 or 5. So if you find the prime factors, we will get only 11. So it is not 2 or 5. Therefore 2 upon 11 is non-terminating recurring type. Then 29 upon, third one is 29 upon 16. 29 upon 16 has denominator 16. Its prime factors are 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. It has only 2 as its prime factors. Therefore, 29 upon 16 has a terminating decimal form or type. Fourth one, 17 upon 125 has denominator 125 and its prime factors are 5 into 5 into 5, that is only 5 as its prime factor. Therefore, 17 upon 125 has terminating decimal form. Question 5. 11 upon 6. 11 upon 6 has denominator 6 and its factors are 2 and 3. The prime factors are other than 2 or 5. So 11 upon 6 is recurring and non-terminating type. Now write the following rational numbers. This is question number 2. Write the following rational numbers in decimal form. Sub question 1, 125 upon 200. Now we can split this 200 into 2 into 100 and we can reduce this by 63.5. So 127, if I divide it by 2, I am getting 63.5. So 63.5 upon 100 gives me 0.635. So 100 has two zeros in the denominator, so the decimal will be shifted towards the left, 2 digits towards the left. So it will be to the left of 3 and 6, 2 digits, so decimal. So therefore 127 upon 200 is equal to 0.635. Now sub question 2, 25 upon 99. So if I divide 25 numerator by the denominator always, so 99 we cannot divide because 25 is smaller than, so we take zeros up. Then a decimal for taking 0 first time. So 99 2 is 198 If I subtract, I am getting 52. Taking extra zeros after decimal is allowed. And then 99 5 is 495. That is 25. Taking extra 0. And then again 99 2 is 52. Now if I see 52, this is being repeated 52, 25, 52. Not 25, 52, 25, 52. This means it is a non-terminating recurring type. So 25 upon 99 is equal to 0.25, and the bar on 2 and 5, because 2 and 5 are being repeated in the division. Sub question 3. 23 upon 7. If I divide this numerator with denominator, 23 divided by 7, I get 3.285714. So last I am getting here again 14 and then again 6. So 23 upon 7 is equal to 3.285714. So if I keep on dividing, I am going to get the same numbers from 2 to 4. So therefore I will draw a line above these numbers, that is the bar, from 2 to 4, which shows that it is recurring and non-terminating. No end to the division. Sub question 4. 4 upon 5. Convert the denominator to 10. So denominator, if I multiply it by 2, I get 10. So I am supposed to multiply numerator also by 2, as it is a fraction. So 4 2s are 8 upon 10, and one decimal place in the numerator, we will mark a decimal here, as it has 1 0 to the left when it is dividing by 10. Therefore 4 upon 5 is equal to 0.8. Fifth sub question 17 upon 8. We can convert denominator to 1000 by multiplying it 17 upon 8 by 125 upon 125. I get 2125 upon 1000. So when it is upon 1000, 3 zeros in the 1000, so 3 decimal place to the left. So 1, 2, 3 and decimal, and here, or also I can divide it by 8. So when I complete this division, 2, 8 2s are 16, and then taking extra 0 decimal, and 2, and then 8 1s are 8, and then you know the division, you can see the division how it is done, and then 17 upon 8 is equal to 2.125. Any one method you can follow. Question 3. Write the following rational numbers in P upon Q form. If it is 0.6 and there is a point on 6, dot on 6, let x is equal to 0.666. 666 dots tells us that 6 is being repeated, so it is non-terminating and non-recurring. So which is equal to 0.6. Let this be equation number 1. Now we are taking this x is equal to this. So multiplying both the sides by 10. Why 10? Because it is one decimal place. So x into 10. So left hand side x we are multiplying it by 10, and 0.66 is also we are multiplying it by 10. So when I multiply this by 10, I am getting 10 into x is 10x, and when we multiply it by 10, decimal shifts to the right, one decimal place, because it is 10. So the decimal will shift between 6 and 6 points, it will become 6.66. So and dot on 6. So this will be equation 2. Now subtracting equation 1 from 2. So first I will write equation 2 and then equation 1. So 10x is equation 2 minus left hand side x minus x is equal to 6.6 here in equation 2 minus 0.6 in equation 1. When I subtract 10x minus x is 9x, 6.6 minus 0.6, I get only 6. This gets cancelled, and therefore x is equal to 6 upon 9. So dividing the fraction by 3, I am getting x is equal to 2 upon 3. Therefore 0.6 is equal to 2 upon 3 will be the answer. Same way we can solve sub question 2. 0.37. Let x is equal to 0.3737 will be repeated, which is equal to 0.37. There will be bar on 3 and 7. Let this be equation number 1. multiplying both the sides by 100. Now we are multiplying it by, because it is 2 decimal place, so we will multiply it by 100. So 100 into x is equal to 0.37 into 100. So 100x is equal to 37.37. This will be equation 2. Subtracting equation 1 from 2, again the same way we get 100 minus x is equal to 37.37 minus 0.37. So 100 minus x is 99, x is equal to 37. This gets cancelled, and 37 minus 0 is 37. X is equal to 37 upon 99. So answer is equal to, now we are writing in P upon Q form, that is a fraction form, 37 upon 98. Now third one, 3.17. Let x is equal to 3.1717 is being repeated. So 3.17 and bar on 1 and 7, multiplying both the sides by 100, that is this and this. So x into 100 is equal to 3.17 into 100. We get 100x is equal to 317.17, right? So decimal shifts to 2 places to the right. So 317.17, this is being repeated, so 17 will come. Subtracting equation 1 from 2, 10x minus x, 100x minus x is equal to 317.17 minus 3.17. We get 99x is equal to 314. X is equal to 314 upon 99. So 3.17 is equal to 314 upon 99. Sub question 4, 15.89. Let x is equal to 15.8989, which is equal to 15.89, equation 1, multiplying both the sides by 100. So x multiplied by 100 and 15.89 multiplied by 100, which gives us 100x and 15.1589, 2 decimal place to the right, and 89 is being repeated, so we have to show 0.89 and bar on 89. This is equation 2. Subtracting equation 1 from 2, 100x minus x is equal to 1589.89 minus 15.89, which gives us 99x is equal to 157. Which gives us 1589. There's a mistake here. One 589 upon 99 is the answer. Now fifth sub question is 2.514 bar from 5 to 4. Let x is equal to 2.14 of 2.514514 is equal to 2.514 bar from 5 to 4. Equation 1, multiplying both the sides by 1000, because it is 3 decimal place, 1, 2, 3 and decimal. So multiplying both the sides by 1000, so x into 1000 is equal to 2.514 into 1000, which gives us 1000x is equal to 2514. This decimal will shift 3 places to the right because we are multiplying by 1000, and then again 514 because this number is recurring. Subtracting equation 1 from 2, we get 1000x minus x is equal to 2514.514 minus 2.514. So 99x is equal to 2512 upon 999, x is equal to 2512, and x is equal to 2512 upon 999. So this is in P upon Q form. So answer is equal to 2.14. There should be bar. from 514, that is 2512 upon 999. So in my next video, let's start with the next exercise. Bye.